everybody, and welcome to issue 14 of Geek Pop Podcast, the only podcast where two guys with no lives give life advice. With me is Josh.
What's going on, everybody? So, Toby, that was a very professional intro. That sounded great.
It's about time.
Yeah.
It's like fucking 3.5 months and I can finally get through that whole sentence in the beginning.
Yeah, you nailed it. You even gave our little slogan. Man, that was good, guys. That was awesome.
I knocked it down. Josh, this episode is brought to you by SaltyBet tournament going on right now.
No. Toby, if SaltyBet comes and gives me a check, then I will pimp SaltyBet all they want. And you've already made me say it twice now, so I blame you for this.
All in waifu. Never bet DBZ, always bet DBZ. Josh.
Toby, you've fallen into SaltyBet like a good 7 months after SaltyBet was a thing.
It's still a huge thing.
Nah, it's not. It's not in the zeitgeist anymore.
All right, Josh. Well, speaking of salty bets, SaltyBet.
I don't want to know anything about your salty bets.
So, I had to wake up early this morning to go give blood.
Yep.
Or have a blood test, or what the fuck it's called, where the doctor's like, hey, we need some of your blood for testing.
I just want to point out, before you launch into the story, that you wouldn't tell me about this morning so you could save it for the show. I just want everyone to know.
Well, I mean, it's one of us has to bring goddamn topics to the podcast.
I know,
and that one person is me.
But this feels like real life stuff, and you're like, no, for the show.
Josh, I might be dying. Tune in later tonight to find out if I am or not.
That's really what it was. It was like, I went to the doctor and stuff happened, but you'll find out later.
This one thing in your tap water might be killing you. Tune in tonight at 11.
You gave me a real life cliffhanger this morning. All right, go on.
So, I went to get blood work done today, and it's way too fucking... I had to go before work, because it was like 6:30 in the morning. That is way too early to be getting stabbed with needles.
Yeah, that is crazy early.
But the preface of the story, I guess, or where this is going to stem from, is I have tattoos, but I'm afraid of needles.
Not only do you have tattoos of like sharp things. Like you have scissors on your arm.
And an anchor, which I guess could be sharp,
well,
but
okay, sure.
maybe. A brand new anchor is probably sharp.
Wait. So the act of getting tattooed doesn't freak you out?
No, because I guess the difference to me is it's not really going in my arm.
No, it is.
The same way. It hits the skin and pulls it back up.
Yeah. I watched a video of slow motion tattooing, and I didn't know this is how tattooing worked, but it was like, it like goes down and touches the skin and then like pulls the skin back up. It's really weird.
That's funny. It's almost like an echo. That's the same exact thing I just fucking said.
Yeah, but I don't listen to you when you talk. But I was Toby.
If you want to see Josh's video, it's called Smarter Every Day on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
And watch the tattoo one.
Listen, if Smarter Every Day wants to give me a check, we'll say his name.
I think his name's like Dwayne or something.
Yeah, no, it was a really cool video though. But I didn't realize either that like a tattoo gun or needle or whatever, it's like 9 needles put together or more. Like I didn't realize it was a cluster of needles.
Yeah, for like the shading and stuff.
That's
and
crazy.
Stuff. It is crazy.
I don't want any part of that.
Okay, but I think my fear to actually get back on point of this, which I guess is probably the point of the show, is I think this all stems from one time I got a shot in my arm when I was like 18, and for whatever reason, like I think the nurse hit a muscle or a nerve.
Was it a circle dot? Now you've had your cootie shot.
I've had cooties way before I was 18.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
But
That's cool.
But it made my muscle flex,
Yeah.
and it pushed the needle back out.
Oh, nice! You like hulked the needle out of your arm.
Yeah, but ever since then I've been afraid of them.
BA,
so
man. Tell me, you found out that you had a superpower against needles, and then you were terrified of him. That's like someone shooting Superman and it falling off, and him going, "I'm so afraid of bullets."
I'm glad I'm compared to Superman. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Okay, in like the worst light possible.
Okay, so I go in for my blood work today, and the lady, I sit down, you get all shit going as you have to do. But I tell the lady, she's pulling like the needle and like the tubes out real quick. It looks like she's about to stab me. So I warn her and say, before you stab me, let me know so I can look away. Or I said, like, let me know so I don't look.
The manliest things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and she obviously saw my tattoos because you have to wear short sleeves or roll your sleeves up. So I say this, and she goes, don't worry, I'm not going to look either.
That's funny.
And this was like, it is, because from experience from like all sorts of doctor's offices and stuff, nurses and doctors usually have a pretty good sense of humor if you start fucking with them.
Uh-huh.
And I guess it's because all the shit you see during work that I guess they can make jokes about almost anything.
You'd have to be able to, yeah.
Yeah. So 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not that awake. And I was like, yeah, wait, what?
All right, cool.
And then she's like, yeah, it's Wednesday. I'm just not going to look today. So then I started laughing. And I'm like, yeah, try something different. The week's halfway over. Let's roll with this. So we're kind of joking around about it. And she tells me that's actually easier not to look sometimes. So then I give her a look. And now I'm getting concerned about this. And I said, like, well, what do you, like, why would this be easier for you not to look? And she said that there's like two basic situations where it's easier. And that's if the person has tattoos and like where the joint of your elbow would be. If they have tattoos or if it's a kid that's freaking the fuck out, it's easier just to close your eyes and feel for the vein rather than like look for the vein.
Yeah.
Because then you're not distracted by things.
By all the pretty pictures on someone's arm.
I guess so. I mean, like, if it's all colored in,
yeah.
I can kind of see my veins, but if it was all colored in, I could see how you wouldn't be able to see them. So you have to go by feel. You have to feel the vein. And then she stabbed me, and like 20 seconds later, I was out of there.
Nice. I bet that's her like go-to line when someone's like, I'm not gonna look. I bet she always comes back with, well, I'm not going to either. I bet that's always what she says.
Josh, remember earlier this week when I said every goddamn time I tell you something, it's always I always get the fucking automated response back from you?
Why, wait, how am I taking something away from you? I'm fleshing this woman out as a character, and you're like, no, we had something special.
That's because that's what you always do to me.
No, I mean, it's still special because you kept talking to her. Most people probably just go, huh, and then move on.
Not this guy. I put my podcasting experience into real life. I looked away from her. I didn't want to make eye contact. I looked away from her on the ground because 20 seconds is too long.
That's the Josh approach right there.
But that reminded me of the 2 times I actually gave blood. So this is 2 other stories. This was actually giving blood and not donating blood. I've
never actually given blood, but go on.
Because you're a piece of shit.
I mean...
I'm trying to save lives. You're over there fucking insulting me. You know.
No, you one time gave blood probably because you got out of work or got a free cookie or there's a pretty girl.
You do get out of work.
Yeah.
You get out of work for like an hour, and then they were all worried about me. But that's the end of the story. So the first time, I go to give blood, and I walk in. As I said, I'm afraid of needles. I thought it was a good thing to do, though. So I was like, what the fuck's going to happen here? This is pretty intimidating. You go on this fucking shitty Bloodmobile bus that has recycled air, which I fucking hate the smell of, which is why I hate hospitals. Because the fake air smell like really gets me really sick to my stomach.
Oh man. Okay.
So I go in, and it's me, an older guy from work, and a kid that's about my age, which was 25 or 26 at the time. And the kid before me was making jokes about the whole thing, and then goes, ho ho ho, I'm going to pass out. The nurses get pissed and go, don't ever say the P word on here.
Pass
she says,
out?
not fun. Yeah. Because I guess once you say it, it puts it into your mind, and it starts fucking with you kind of thing.
Well, okay.
Or from their experience. Like, it's not a good idea to put that fear in your mind ahead of time, or else shit happens. And I would assume they're professional, so I'll take their word over yours. Who's already going, no.
I don't have a word. It just seemed unreal to me. It seemed like that you can't will yourself to pass out. But
the time... Yeah. No, but it's not willing yourself to pass out. It's putting the thought in your head that you're going to pass out. So it's probably easier, though. There's times where I feel like I'm going to throw up, and if I tell myself, don't fucking throw up, you pussy, I stop.
Really?
Yeah. It actually works pretty well. Like, legitimately works pretty well.
I'm going to try that next time I need to lift something really heavy. Like, quit being a pussy and just lift it. And then I have superpowers.
That's exactly how that works.
Yep.
But so this kid's making jokes, and nurses get pissed. Then the nurse starts asking me all these questions. It's basically 50 questions before you start. Have you been to Britain between 87 and 93?
What?
Have you been to Africa?
Wait, what?
Because I guess that's when whenever mad cow disease was a big thing in Britain.
Oh.
If you went to Britain in between those, like in between X year and X year,
that's
you're
incredible.
automatically on like the do not donate blood list, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of things. And there's things like if you had gay sex in the past 6 months, if you had unprotected sex in the past 12 months. So, of course, I have a younger girl for a nurse, and she's asking about the gay sex stuff, and I'm trying not to laugh and being a grown-up, which, as you know, is very easy for me with any situation whatsoever.
You should ask for clarification. Like, are we talking anal or, like, just the little hand stuff work?
Do I have to be the inserter or the insertee? Does it make a difference? Does that give me an extra month? If not, I don't really know.
How about just a beige? Is that cool, or...
So, eventually it's my time to go. And when you're on the Bloodmobile bus, you're in these, like, almost recliner seats, but not really.
Okay.
So all the seats are by windows you can stare out of. And my recliner seat was facing this other kid's recliner seat. Like, there's a little bit of a gap between you.
So it's like riding a train where you face the passenger across from you?
Yeah, but you're both giving blood.
Yeah,
and I don't want to...
You're right, Toby. It's not exactly like riding a train.
You're both bleeding out, and I don't want to see that shit. So I'm there, like, they hook me up. They'll say, we'll let you know when we're done. Just do whatever you want to do, kind of bullshit with me. I'm staring out the window. All of a sudden, the kid in front of me that said he was going to pass out, guess what he does?
Passes out.
He passes out, goes into convulsions, and dislocates his shoulder in this fucking seat.
Rad! You didn't know you
5 feet away from me. And the first time me donating blood terrified as shit. This motherfucker goes, I'm gonna pass out. Passes out and fucking injures himself to the point where he's screaming fuck on the bloodmobile and they have to call an ambulance for him.
See, I look at that like, man, I got a free show with my blood donation. Like, I got out of work for an hour and there was this whole free exciting thing that happened right in front of me.
No, I was out of work for an hour because they knew it was my first time. So once I was done, they were like, no, sit on the bus and hang out. Eat a cookie. Drink some soda. And I told him, I was like, I don't really like snacks. I don't really want to eat cookies, to be honest with you. Well, then drink a soda. Here, drink another soda. Just hang out for a while. Just make sure you're okay. Are you sure you're okay? No, just hang out for a little bit longer. Make sure you're okay. And then, because it took me so long, because they wouldn't let me off the bus, the rumor got around that someone had to get carted off to the hospital from the bloodmobile.
I never thought it was you.
My whole department thought it was me because they knew I was gone for a while.
This other kid was you, wasn't it? This is all a cover story.
Yeah, okay, you've known me long enough to know that if this story was about me, I'd go, Josh, this one time I passed the fuck out and dislocated my shoulder from, screaming fuck on the bloodmobile.
That is the, most just pussy way to dislocate your shoulder in the world, too, by the way. That guy can get no credit from the fact that he dislocated his shoulder. Like, oh man, how'd you do that? Did you win a fight? Like, you like extreme sports? Like, no, I was giving blood.
And then the other time I gave blood at my next job, the one that I'm at now, I was joking around with the nurse again, and it wasn't as dramatic as the first time, but I said something about her sticking me with the needle and how I barely noticed it or something. Just dumb bullshit conversation. And she goes, yeah, because I practice at home all the time.
What?
And I shot her a look, and I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, like Dexter, I have my people in my basement, I practice drawing blood on them. And I started laughing, but it was the most nervous fucking laughter I ever gave somebody.
She might really be a killer.
Yeah, so bloodmobile nurses, or people that play with blood, phlebotomists. There's some creepy motherfucking people.
I practice phlebotomy.
Dude, there's a lot of P's and H's and B's and shit. I don't know how to fucking...
I'm pretty sure flublub is not how you say that.
Phlebotomist?
Phlebotomist. You just basically, put a bunch of marbles in your mouth and then go underwater, and that's what...
You're right, Josh, because me saying things the right way is way funnier than me fucking making up words for it. You're truly the comedic genius on this show.
Are you saying that I'm unwrapping this onion too far?
You pulled back one too many layers right there.
Okay, so Toby, this segment of the show is called Josh Complains About Trivial Bullshit in the Midst of Other People's Miraculous Happy Stories. So a friend of mine recently had a child, as in recently, when I mean like a day and a half ago,
Nice.
Which is awesome. I'm happy for them. Kids great. But when they were heading to the hospital, he sent out a mass text message to literally over 100 people, giving status update, right? Hey, we're heading to the hospital, and then later it's happening, and then later oh, she was born and all that, which is fine. But it was a group text message, and as you know, Toby, I don't have unlimited texts.
Oh my god, I can't wait for the freak out on this one.
Putting that out there. No unlimited texts. So this ruined my life for the past day. Where everyone was texting back and saying oh, this is awesome, exciting, and then, oh, congratulations, and it's it was terrible. It was the worst, and it seems to have slowed down now, but it was a real dangerous touch and go. I was going to have to say something situation there for a little bit.
Can't you remove yourself off of that once it starts?
I don't know. I didn't know how, and if it had kept going, I would have researched how, but probably not with just the default text messaging. I might be wrong. But it's the most annoying thing in the world. And also, I didn't want to remove myself completely until I found out the kid was born. That was something to find out, I guess.
On the opposite of that, I found out that my best friend and his wife had their kid the day after it happened because I made some throwaway comment to a different friend.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, oh, by the way, X and Y had the baby. And I said, shut the fuck up? Did they really? And they're like, yeah, I think they put it on Facebook, but they never actually text anybody.
Yeah.
And we're like, we had the kid. Like, they had the kid on Friday. I found out like 7 o'clock Saturday night from a different friend that they had a kid.
That's awesome.
And apparently they posted it on Facebook before they texted like their closest friends.
I mean, that sounds, to be honest, that sounds like something I would do. Like, I would just not tell anyone
Josh,
that like my wife is pregnant.
If you were having a kid, or you had a kid,
yes,
out of all people, I'm sure you would text or call your family, and I'm sure you would text or email me.
Probably
with your small knit group, like just like I have. I am 99% sure you at least like tell me like, hey, by the way, the kid's here now.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's only because I don't use Facebook ever. No,
okay,
I'm just kidding. I'm
still,
kidding. No, it is kind of weird that you wouldn't let people know, I guess, first.
And then I was talking to other friends about it, and I'm pretty much anti-Facebook right now. Like, I never go on it anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
I would have never known they had a kid until probably months later when I went over and there was a kid, if I never went on Facebook. And that still seems weird to me. Like, you wouldn't tell at least... Like, my local friends, it's pretty much a group of 4 of us.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be a fucking 50-person text message if I have a kid now. It'd be, hey, you 3, specifically by name, the kid's here now.
I also like, though, I really love the idea of just showing up at someone's house one day and a kid being there. And you're like, oh, yeah, I guess you were pregnant. Oh, so that happened, I guess. That's kind of funny.
What the fuck is this thing?
So,
she had a kid. Oh, okay.
So it's a little boy then. Oh, okay.
All right.
Great. He's 7. I guess I haven't been over here for a while.
I know I've been distant recently, but I didn't realize I was that distant. I apologize.
But yeah, so group text messages are, I've always heard about them. That's something that you hear about on the internet. Like, oh, I'm in this group text message and it never ends. And most of the time I thought my friends were smarter than that, where like we hadn't gotten those started. Like,
don't they know my rules about texting me?
Exactly, Toby. I almost had to lay down some rules about texting with literally 100 people that I don't know. But so far, it hasn't had to happen. Which I'm happy about.
That was like the one time I texted Josh, like, guess what, ... Josh texted me back what? I said, you'll never guess what happened, ... And Josh goes, how about you just fucking go in hall and tell me, or tell me later. Like, stop fucking texting me and wasting my texts.
Well, that's the most annoying way to text someone. Like, why? That's something you do in person or, like, in a chat or an IM. Like when we're literally, like, folding up little electronic packets and throwing them at each other. That's a stupid way to introduce a conversation.
I mean, it's not if you have unlimited texting like the rest of the world does.
No, why should I have unlimited? All right, breaking it down. Text messages are the most ridiculous expenditure in the entire world. Because, like, literally sending that much data across the internet to something else is practically free. Practically free. Why should it cost, like, 10 cents a piece?
Why wouldn't you pay for as many as you want for the same cost?
Because I have unlimited data. Why doesn't it run on data? I'm sending you data.
Well, put it on Wi-Fi then. It does, dickhead.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No.
You have bullshit. It does. You have to fucking use data for texting and phone calls on your phone, and that's the way it works then, cocksucker.
Where's that at? Wait, tell me where that's at.
What kind of phone are you using?
Android.
It should be on there. Mine doesn't.
It's not. Everyone. Toby's wrong about my phone.
All right, so I guess this is gonna be the part of the podcast where Josh and I stare at our fucking cell phones for a second here.
Toby, that already happened. This has already started. Sometimes. All right, I don't see it. It's not on mine.
Is that my problem or your problem?
Well, it's my phone's problem for sure.
It's the user's problem.
Okay, you know what? That sounds great. If that's true, that sounds fantastic. I don't believe
it is true.
Okay.
It is true.
Still, I feel like a text message should fall within my data plan. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Anyway, so it doesn't, and I guess the moral of the story is don't ever text Josh more than one thing at a time or he'll freak the fuck out.
I mean, like, you could text me, but, like, say your full thing. Like, I don't know. I've got this one friend, and again, love him to death, but he will send, like, a sentence over the course of 5 texts. It's like, hey, new text. What's going on? Like, new text. I haven't talked to you for a while. New text. Just seeing. New text. Question mark. New text. Like, what?
Josh goes, my 50 fucking cents!
Yeah, like, I literally can, like, count up when he texts, and it's like, what? You treat it like an IM, and it's a text message. Like,
but that's what everyone does. Everyone treats it like an IM, other than Josh, who doesn't have unlimited data or unlimited texting.
I've ascended, and I actually use instant messaging on my phone.
Okay.
This is where I want to pick the world up and mold it to my specifications, and it's not working. So, all right, this is more, Toby, of a confession than anything. Just
Taxi cab confessional?
A taxi cab confessional. I spilled my guts in cursive. But what's worse is I've been reading fan fiction.
Please tell me it's about us.
If it was about us, I would not be embarrassed whatsoever. No, it's Harry Potter fan fiction.
Okay.
And felt like I needed to get that off my chest. Needed to get that out there. And I have a conundrum for you.
Okay.
So, all right, do you ever read things that are embarrassing, like that you wouldn't want other people to know about?
I think my life is more I do things that are embarrassing versus me reading things that are embarrassing.
Fair. Okay. So I have a book reader, right? Which is great for when you want to read stuff like fan fiction, when you don't want everyone to know what you're reading. But here's my conundrum. If I'm in public reading something like that on my book reader and someone comes up and is like, what are you reading?
Harry Potter.
What do I answer? Do I say Harry Potter?
Yeah, just as quick as I did too.
But what if they say, like, which one?
Half-Blood Prince.
But what if they say, like, oh, a part?
The part where they figure out he's a Half-Blood Prince.
Okay. Does it come across as evasive if I just say, oh, it's my book reader?
You say, stop asking me so many fucking questions. It's not the Spanish Inquisition. And you go back to your book.
Okay, that's fair. I think that's fair. When that happened to me the one time, I did lead with, it's my book reader. What are you reading? It's my book reader. That's like saying, what are you reading?
You have
a book.
the weirdest panic, fight or flight response to people asking you what you're doing to embarrassing things.
Well, I mean, because I do a lot of embarrassing things.
Well, I know, but I think it was on the podcast, or it was at least a conversation you and I had.
Yeah.
When you listen to like wrestling theme songs at work.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm just listening to music, that's all. Just music. Yeah. And you fucking like try to blow it off real quick. It's the same thing. Like the things you have tagged as embarrassing in your brain, you just have this really weird like flight response of, I'm going to break this down to the most generic thing I can.
Yep.
And I'm just going to roll with that answer. But when you do it that way, you get asked more questions because you're being generic like an asshole.
That's true. So to flesh that story out, what happened was I had headphones in at work. What are you listening to? Was the question. Oh, I don't know.
Just my iPod.
I literally said just my iPod, and then it was like, oh yeah, but what? And it was like I shoved the iPod underneath my monitor so you couldn't see the screen. And I
Do you not think when you freak out with these reactions that seems worse? What are you looking at? Nothing. No, I'm just looking at stuff. Nothing. It's fine. It's fine.
I told him, I don't know. It's just on shuffle, and ripped my headphones out.
Do you not see how it makes it worse? Like, you have to realize this now.
I do, but like the reason I didn't want to see the screen is because like really big on the screen is like a picture of AJ Styles because I was listening to his theme song. I don't know how to explain that. There's a lot of Josh explanation that has to come before we get to, and I was listening to AJ Styles' theme song on my iPod.
I feel like even TV theme songs would work. A shuffle of soundtracks. I don't know. But the vaguer you get these stupid fucking questions, like you must make it worse for yourself.
I should learn. I just need to go like full, complete explanation to where they get uncomfortable and walk away. That's where I need to take it.
Yeah.
I'm reading Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality, which is a fan fiction that I found on the internet. And then they just leave.
Or just say, I mean...
Is that too far?
You know, like, Josh, in this world, there's actually, like, shades of gray between the black and the white.
Not for me, man.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I can definitely tell.
It's 0 or 60. That's one or the other. What if I just, like, lean in real close and be like, have you ever heard of slash fiction? It's not that. No.
I mean, you could.
So I take them too far, and then I reel them back in. So what I tell them isn't as bad.
I'm reading fiction. Oh, those made up stories. No, it's not slash fiction. No, I mean, so it's just one of those things. You know, someone else wrote it. It's like a novella. You know, by K.M. Rowling.
It's like a novella.
That's a word, right?
Yeah, literally no one has ever described anything like that in the history of the world. It's like a novella.
I said I'd fucking rip the book in half and go, I'm not reading anything now.
That would be my approach, yeah. I shoved the book reader down my pants. What?
I'm reading my ass, and you're gonna be reading it in a second too.
Yeah.
Alright, let me bet on waifu real quick.
Oh dear lord. Have you been playing that this whole time? You son of a bitch. This is going on the show, by the way.
No, it's not.
It should.
I told you. I said in the beginning, it was brought to me by the tournament. Every once in a while, I reopen it, make a bet again, then close it.
Terrible.
Josh, remember a long time ago when I discussed the great bathroom debacle at work, where we blasted Snow Patrol like nobody's business while we all took shits together?
Yeah, it's a very kumbaya experience when you read it back.
Work has escalated nicely this week.
Oh, great.
So the one door that goes from the parking lot to the warehouse, all the warehouse people always leave propped open because apparently it's inconvenient to take a key fob outside. And so many people go outside and smoke that rather than lock the security door, we're just going to prop it open with a piece of wood.
Great. Yep. That
Eventually the store, of course, eventually the store broke enough where we had to call whoever and get new doors for the whole building. And I don't know if them propping the door was part of this issue, but it's quote unquote fixed now. They got a new door that can't be propped open anymore.
Okay, great.
So the new door was put in, but there wasn't security glass put in the window pane yet. So they put a piece of what looks like plywood in the window frame.
Okay.
I need you to visualize this as we're doing this.
I'm trying, yes. Plywood in the window frame.
Or
as if you would in, like, New Orleans post-Katrina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit thinner than that, but that type of wooden enclosure in a door window.
Gotcha.
So, apparently this is too much to handle for the assholes in the warehouse, because someone punched through the wood to be able to reach to the door and open the door from the inside. I took a picture of it to show you and put it on my Twitter after this episode comes out.
Just hulked it out.
Yeah, that they literally punched the hole through the wood just to get back in the building because they can't prop the door open anymore.
That's incredible. That also shows, again, your new solution, maybe not as secure as you thought.
But so the best part of this to me was I was bullshitting outside with people going back into work, and we're all laughing at the fucking hole in the door. And the one manager was like reaching in his pocket to get his key fob out, and I go, no, let me get the door for you. I just reach my hand through the window and open the door from the inside.
I got this.
And he's like, you're such a fucking dick. I just laughed. I was like, I know, but this is what everybody else does. I want to fit in. So now we've escalated to propping the door open to punching a hole through the door to be able to open the door from the inside.
That might be the definition. And not
take a 1 ounce piece of plastic key fob outside with you.
Yeah, it was literally worth, like, punching a hole through something just so I don't have to carry a key fob. That's the definition of doesn't give a fuck. That's just straight up. That's like, whatever, man.
The other great this is a work complaint, but I feel like this is fucking ridiculous. And I know you like to come down on me. So I know I'm rolling the dice here.
Right.
Hopefully you're on team common sense.
Here's where we go. All right.
One of the managers of customer service pointed out to me that the time clocks in the building and the clocks on the phone/computers aren't synced with each other. Apparently this is inconvenient for people to take their breaks. Okay. No one knows what time it is and they walk away from their desk and can't get back on time. Does it not seem like if it was me and I said, hey, the time clock's 5 minutes faster than my watch or my cell phone, I would keep in mind, add 5 minutes to everything. This would be an issue for a day or two tops, and then you would coordinate with yourself, hey, there's a 5-minute difference, I can work with this.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Like, that's what a regular person would do that has any sort of mental ability whatsoever.
Apparently this is too complicated for half the fucking building.
Great. Why are they even looking at the time on the time clock? Like, if it's off by 5, when you clock in, you might be 5 minutes late, and if you clock out, then you're 5 minutes early. Like, it's just shifted by 5. Like, it works out still. So when they go for the break, why are they not just clocking out, looking at their phone, and then waiting for 15 minutes or whatever, and then coming back and clocking back in? Like, you should never even look at the time on the time clock.
Yeah, like that'd be the last place the time fucking matters.
Exactly! Holy cow, dude.
Yeah.
Of course, though, I'm the guy who went for probably 2 years in my car with the time being off by, I think it was like 7 minutes, and I would just do the math in my head all the time, and I never bothered to change it, even though it would have taken all of 10 seconds. So
there's been times I've done it with like when the hour's off, or I used to set my clock like 9 minutes ahead so I wake up earlier, quote unquote, wake up earlier and get out of the house on time.
Yeah.
But eventually you just fucking figure out, I have 9 minutes. If my clock says 8 o'clock, I need to leave at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I don't have to leave yet. And it completely negates what's going on. Unless you have some random third-party bystander set the clock for you and never tell you.
Yeah.
But even then I'd figure it out.
You'd be like, wait a minute, it said this time in the house, and I got in the Jeep, and now it says this time. I've got that third-party bystander figured out.
Yeah, like, it'd be impossible to go through a full day without fucking, like, correcting yourself with what time it was.
Yeah.
I left work at 5 o'clock. It takes me a half hour to get home. My clock says 6 now. Oh, fuck, it's a half hour fast. It seems impossible for this to fuck with anybody. Especially in a time where everyone has their fucking cell phones strapped to their fucking face all day.
That's true, yeah. I never understood those people that were able to do that, like fool themselves with changing their clocks. Like, they would literally set their clock back and then be able to tell themselves that wasn't the case. And it's like, that just means that you have willpower and you're not willing to admit it. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah. If you have the willpower to leave at 8 o'clock knowing it's not 8 o'clock, just have the willpower to leave at 7:50.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, because that's what you're fucking doing anyway.
It's just, you think it's cool to not have willpower, so you're not doing it.
I'm a time hipster. I don't care what time it is.
Life hack!
Josh, you have bad habits.
That's all I am.
A walking bad habit?
I'm a collection of bad habits with a face.
Would you pay $125 to break any bad habit you had?
Can I steal this in some way? Because that's a lot of money.
You can't steal it yet. You might be able to steal it in the future.
Okay. I wouldn't download a bad habit.
Okay. Josh, there's a new Indiegogo going on right now.
Uh-huh.
It's a wristwatch called a Pavlock.
Okay.
Almost like Pavlov,
yep,
like the dog.
Yep.
What it does is it sends a zap to your wrist if you're doing something that is a quote-unquote bad habit you're trying to break. For example, if you GPS where the McDonald's is, it will zap you in the wrist when you try to go to McDonald's if you're trying to break on McDonald's.
Huh. Okay. Like...
So, right...
that's interesting. Like, it's like when people used to wear, like, bands on their arm and snap themselves when they did something wrong, but it's automating that process for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so they're trying to raise $50,000. You can get it for $125 on Indiegogo right now.
This is what we just talked about.
Real quick, I know. I'm making a disclaimer right now. I'm in no way backing this product with my own money. We're only actually telling someone to do it with their money, because God only fucking knows what's going to happen with it. I just think it's, I guess we'll use the word cool, that someone invented a device that's just going to electrocute you if you do something that you tell it's bad.
Yeah.
Because it's almost as good as the fucking clock thing. Like, I could make it zap me when I go to McDonald's, or I could put the GPS marker 2 miles away from McDonald's, so even if I go to McDonald's, it'll never actually zap me.
Yeah, it's again the exact same thing, where if you are going to the trouble of programming in that McDonald's is a danger zone, and putting on the watch, which you could easily take off so it wouldn't shock you, that just means, again, you have willpower and you're not willing to admit it. Because me, I would put it on, and I would either just take it off when it comes time to go to McDonald's, or I would, again, yeah, like you said, just say, McDonald's is like, it's farther away than this. It's not here. It's not sitting in this restaurant.
I'm not going to go to the bad McDonald's. I'm going to go to the good McDonald's. Yeah. This just reminds me which one I'm not supposed to go to at this point.
This is Salad Zone. This isn't McDonald's. What are you talking about?
Or if you have that much willpower, save yourself the $125. Just break your fucking bad habit.
Yeah, just stop going to McDonald's if that's what you're into.
But yeah, so that's a thing now.
Great. I love it. I love that we are solving problems that didn't exist with technology that's way, like, over qualified. Perfect.
Josh, did you know that if you put caffeine in pants, it won't help you slim your waist?
Is that what? I mean, are you just like sprinkling it in? Like what?
No, because some company got sued with a $1.5 million settlement that they were selling iPant long line shapers for women, which are pants that are caffeine infused, with the claims they would lose weight by wearing the pants.
Lose weight by wearing caffeine infused pants? Who even? The same people who thought that was real are the same people who thought they could microwave their phone to charge it. It's the same. It's the same like subset. If we create a Venn diagram of those two types of people, it's just one circle.
It's just purple.
Yeah, it's all purple. but the actual like legend has two different colors, but you can't see the other one.
The red circle says idiot, and the blue circle says idiot.
Yeah.
And it's just a big purple blob right in the middle.
It just merges. Yep.
So yeah, I guess this is the Geek Pop life tip of the week. Caffeine in your pants will not help you lose weight. Don't buy them.
Well, if you
or if you think caffeine in your pants will help you lose weight, I have a bridge to sell you. So get a hold of us at cast@geek-pop.com, and I'll give you the invoice for your brand new bridge. Josh, there comes a time in every young man's life when the listeners of the podcast that you host ask you questions at cast@geek-pop.com, and that's not our part of our lives right now.
Every week it comes around this time.
Every week comes around this time. Just like Josh's mother.
Well, I was forming a sex joke as well, and you beat me to it. Mine was about you and masturbation.
I'm glad. You know what? That was my first go-to.
Yeah.
I was going to make a joke about myself, and I decided there's no time like the present to make a Josh's mom joke.
If you're gonna go for it, you might as well go all the way.
That's why Josh's mom put...
Just stop you right there.
So we have 2 questions asked of us this week. Once again, that's cast@geek-pop.com. You can talk to us about anything we talked about during the episode, or ask us life questions or tips, or whatever you want to know from us, we will answer. Josh, Ernesto has a life question for us.
I'm ready for his life question with a life answer.
Ernesto has his friend on Facebook.
Okay.
And they used to talk all the time, but they stopped talking a while ago. He knows she's on Facebook because she updates her stats a couple times or comments on things, but she won't answer his actual messages. So he wants to talk to her, but she just won't bother talking to him anymore. They used to be super close, and he's upset that they just don't talk anymore. I guess he wants what he should do.
So I'll first the advice is delete Facebook, lawyer up,
hit the gym,
and
make money. Question mark, question mark, question mark, profit.
Yeah. But like, I'll say the hard thing. He's in love with this girl, right? Ernesto.
There's the crush there. Yeah. It might be long term.
Let's be honest with ourselves, Ernesto. Yeah, you're digging on this honey. You're picking up what she's putting down.
You're the sweet to her sour.
You're the snap to her pop.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
Sometimes you just gotta let the fish swim away. Just let them go.
There's a dumb bullshit saying about how if you love something, set it free, and it comes back to you something.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get that hyper dramatic with you because I think that line's a crock of shit. To be honest with you, I've gotten fucked way too many times in my life for letting things go for probably no reason. But
yeah,
if she's giving you the fade, which it sounds like she's doing, I would probably figure that she's not worth the time you're thinking about it. And while it might be hard to just push her out of your mind, it's probably in your best interest to do so. I'm gonna
agree with you, but go completely against the whole if you love something, set it free. Because sometimes it comes back to you, and sometimes it runs out in traffic and just gets hit by a car, which is also not beneficial to anyone. But maybe the metaphor breaks down there somewhere. But yeah, if you're feeling like the fade from her, like you said, like if that's like something you're picking up on now, that means that she's been trying to put that down for you for like way longer. Because guys don't pick up on signals that girls give, like at all.
I don't pick up on good or bad signals.
Exactly. So if you're like getting like the slightest hint of something, it's probably because it means it's been happening for a while, and she just is like, you know, sort of like trying to like bow out gracefully. So yeah, like way more fish in the sea than this one, if we're reading the situation correctly.
Or if you would ignore you're in love with her part, because obviously we don't know you or her. So I wouldn't be so bold as presume that you love this girl, but you obviously love her very much because you love her.
And how much do you love her? Do you love her a lot?
You love her a lot, bud? It's okay, bud. You know, sometimes you just love people. But realistically, even if you two were just really good friends and she's just going to give you the blow off like that, you were probably a better friend to her than she is to you, and she'd probably tell her to fuck off like that anyway. Like, not literally tell her to fuck off, but obviously she is not worth the time that you thought she was worth, so I wouldn't even bother at that point.
Where do you land? I'm asking you this time. Where do you land on, like, staying in touch with long-distance friends? Like, if it feels like work, is it worth doing? Or should it just come naturally, like, well, I just want to reach out to this person, so I do all the time? Or, like, you know what I mean?
I feel like it's a hassle with you every fucking day.
Great.
And I don't even know why I do sometimes.
Awesome. Love it.
I've had I've been the friend, and I have friends who get pissed off when they don't get invited to anything.
Yeah.
But they don't get invited to things anymore because they never show up and never make an effort to be friends with anybody.
Ooh.
So after being that person and being upset about it, but being rational enough to realize, like, hey, I'm the one causing this for myself, I don't feel bad doing it to other people.
That's fair.
I don't know if that's even what you're asking me.
Sort of, yeah.
But I mean, like, eventually you would just say to yourself, like, why the fuck do I keep bothering? And eventually you would try less and less. And then eventually you're not going to try at all.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's true. Which is what Ernesto should do here.
Yeah. If you feel like you've tried, and then you try less and less, and you're like, she's not responding, she's obviously just not paying attention to me, you should not pay attention to her and just say, fuck it.
Yeah.
There's other people to stalk on Facebook.
Yeah, there's plenty of, like, swimsuit models that you could be also not getting messaged from.
I'll give you a tip from my dad. There's tons of strippers who have Facebooks. Be friends with them. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because, again, if you're not actually talking to them, it's the exact same experience.
But they can ignore you then, too. But at least you know that's because they're dirty tramps.
Oh, wow. That took a weird turn.
Josh, Tom from Melbourne.
What's up, Tom?
He has written in, cast@geek-pop.com.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
That's right.
Tom from
Josh,
Melbourne.
he just heard... Shut the fuck up.
You're on the air.
You're on the air! Tom just heard episode 13 of Geek Pop, his first time listening to the podcast, and he really enjoyed it. We have a really nice flow to our show, and he laughed like a motherfucker.
Tom, I'm going to blow your fucking mind right now. There are 12 more of those bitches you can go listen to right now.
That's right. He's going to mention the podcast to others. Josh, as one of the great compliments that when people tell us, it holds up against anything Kevin Smith does with his line of podcasts in terms of entertainment value.
Toby, I don't know about you, but I'm shooting a bit higher in terms of an art form than Kevin Smith.
I don't know why, but okay.
You don't think so? I mean,
no.
I guess that's bold of me.
I'm sorry we're not fucking Dan Harmon cast, you piece of shit, Josh.
Oh! Dan Harmon cast is really good, though. Like, y'all should probably listen to it.
Harmontown! Ooh,
Subscribe to, like, us, and then
Dan
that one.
Harmon. No, don't fucking subscribe to that one. Just subscribe to ours.
Don't subscribe to any other podcast.
And then, yeah, exactly. And then email Dan Harmon and be like, Dan Harmon, listen to this podcast, and then tell people how good it is.
They don't read emails on their show.
He's a fucking cocksucker, because we read emails. We're better than him.
But they also do a live show, which we should probably get into.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck anything Dan Harmon does.
But us and Kevin Smith, we're tight.
All right. Josh, what year do you think you'll die of old age?
Good God. Tom, Jesus. Like what year? Like
he gave a 10-year gap for himself, so give me a 10-year gap.
Can I hear his first?
He said between 75 and 85, but I don't know how old he is to break that down into a thing.
Is this all right? Is this supposed to be like optimism, like when do I want to die, or is this like cold hard looking at my actual health?
I mean, if we're gonna go cold hard health, I'm gonna say I'm out in like the next 15 years at this point.
Great, awesome. I'm gonna need a new podcast host coming in like 15 years, you guys. So start trading now.
Start emailing cast@geek-pop.com for your application to be the host of the show.
I'm going to hold out that eventually they're going to figure out how to put my brain in a cyborg body, so I'll never die.
I mean, I think that kind of defeats
yeah.
the point of this question.
Death is what you're saying, which is what I'll be doing. And also, anything I want with my laser eyes, I'll defeat that too.
So you're going to have laser eyes? 2055 laser eyes, right?
That's my deadline for laser eyes. If I can't have that, I'll take like LED eyes at the very least.
You can probably get glasses that have those in them.
Yeah, but why? No half measures here, Toby.
Jesus Christ. Josh, if someone gave you $90 million for the sole purpose of inventing something, what would you invent?
I would invent the question of why didn't they give me $100 million and just get done with it?
You are not good at this game.
What would I invent? Wait, so they gave me $90 million for me to invent something, and now, with $0, I'm supposed to tell you what I would invent. I
would invent a sweet cyborg body and LED eyes for Josh, so he could live forever.
Aww. And I would invent the perfect podcast host.
I don't care what the fuck you say.
I would invent the perfect podcast host so that in 15 years when Toby passes away, I can then have something really great.
I think my favorite part of this is in both these scenarios. I said apply for a new host. Josh said he's gonna create the perfect host.
Yeah.
So you're saying like second fiddle the entire time. You're comfortable as co-captain.
That is what that means, right? Like I'm not going to become the perfect thing. I'm going to just associate with the perfect thing.
Josh isn't going to step up for this show. He's gonna stay right where he is, and he's just going to keep piling from the back seat.
Sometimes the coattails are the most comfortable position to ride.
I could pull the sleigh, or I could ride in the back of the sleigh. I'm more comfortable hiring another reindeer to pull this bad boy.
I learned a long time ago that when there are 12 of us, it's way easier than if there was only 8.
So those are our questions for the week. Again, if you want to ask us anything, it's cast@geek-pop.com. You can also find us on iTunes and Stitcher. If you leave us reviews on there or subscribe to us on those medias, we will read your reviews on the show. Give us 5 stars to make us more popular. Because we do want to be popular, so we can reach out and touch more lives. Josh loves touching things.
Lives specifically. Let's not.
Lives specifically.
I mean, other things too, but
other
butts?
things not specifically. Butts. He likes picking things up with his butt. We learned that last week. Exactly. Josh, where can you find you during the week?
You can find me on Twitter. It's @GI_Josh.
And you can find me on Twitter @GirlsHeartGeeks. Once again, I am Toby.
And I'm Josh.
Later.
Later. Later. Later. Later. Later.